Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Brandon Cawthorne. I'm a professional disc golfer out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, sponsored by Hyzerbomb. And this is going to be my in the bag. Thanks to GK Productions for doing this, asking me to do this, and then putting it all together. So we'll start with my putters. These are my primary putters. They're XT AVRs, the 30-year stamps, and I've got one that's been bagged for about 18 months, 2 years, something like that. Nice and beat in straight, and this one's a little bit more stable. I like the XT because it's grabby, and here in Tulsa it's windy like most of the year, and so I can get this on a line and it's nice and stable, and it'll grab some chains. Then I've got this older AVR. I've had this for a long time. It's beat into very straight to understable. This one gets used for longer putts. You know, I got to be outside at like 50 feet before I grab this one. I got some throwing putters here. This is a P2 in the D line, and it's beat in. It's my Hyzerbomb flip putter. Only throw this backhand, very straight, or it'll go right if I want a shot that's working that direction, backhand. This is an X-Line P2, which I like, brand new. They're really overstable. They'll handle quite a bit of snap put on them. But whenever it hits the ground, it grabs really well and stops pretty much wherever you put it. So this disc right here, this is one that went into my bag this year. It is an AVR X3. It's a prototype. The early runs are super puddle topped, which makes them not have much glide, which is great because they won't get away from you on your shots. And I like throwing this backhand. If I put it with hyzer, it's going to move left. It will rarely pop up at all. They handle an amazing amount of torque put on them, so you can just snap the heck out of them and know that they're going to hold that line true. It's good for forehand shots, really great in the woods or any kind of wind that you run into. So I'm really happy with this disc right now. This is one of my sponsors' discs. It's a Moab in the Recon plastic. Ridiculously overstable. It's a lot like a Viper. For some of you old school disc golfers know what that is, but you know, it's really just a utility disc. I don't throw it that far. Helps me get out of trouble. Really overstable. Okay, so I've got a couple of mortars here. This is an overstable mid-range. That's comparable to like a beadless gator. So it's overstable. I like them. They feel great in the hand. Good for forehands, good for backhands. You can shape shots. It's overstable, so it'll fight out of an anhyzer, or when thrown on a hyzer, it'll hold that. So this is one of the most current runs that they did. It's got kind of a micro bead on it, and this is the Recon Glow plastic, so Champion Glow style plastic. And just nice and overstable. This is going to be the more overstable of the two. I haven't had this in the bag quite as long. And then this one here is a Frontline swirly, like star type plastic. And again, this is a mortar made by Hyzerbomb. Fantastic mid-range for overstable shots. It's getting to be that time of year where we're playing in the woods. The insects aren't around as much, and so this gets me out of a lot of trouble. I can throw flex forehands with it, or just straight turnovers, highs of forehands, backhands, whatever. This disc is money. It's great. We'll go to my other mid-rangers that I bagged. This is an 06 USDGC Champ Rock. It's a little bit of a dome on it. This is pretty overstable as far as rocks go. I like throwing it on backhands whenever there's a little bit of wind, or I just need it to finish to the left. Tons of glide, nice overstability. I don't really like the way rocks feel in my hand for forehand shots, so this is primarily a backhand. This is one that I just got. I wasn't really a fan of Cawthorne, so I found one of the Paul Macbeth Champ Rocks that they released on USDGC. Flat top rocks and like the X plastic were beaten in too fast for me, and this thing is great. super versatile. I can throw it on an ante, on a hyzer, throw it flat, whatever I want to do with it. It's really a point shooting style disc. I'm really liking this. This is a P-Line MD3 made by Discmania. They start off really straight. They're a fast mid-range, but they start off straight to understable, and then they beat in from there. So this gets used a lot whenever I need something that is only going to go right for me on the backhand line, and I can hyzer flip it and work some nice lines in the woods with this. It's kind of chilly here in the shade. So now we'll get on to my fairway drivers. This is a Star Sidewinder, super understable. I like using this a lot for rollers. I can hyzer flip roll this disc. It hasn't been in the bag that long, but it's kind of one that I really like, especially in the woods. I've got a Champ T-Bird. This is an 11-time Ken Climo T-Bird, and this is the least stable T-Bird that I have. Good for a little bit of hyzer, pops up to dead straight. Really great frisbee. You know, I can work any line basically that I want to with it. This is the same style of T-Bird. It's an 11-time Ken Climo Champ T-Bird. This one's a little bit more overstable, so I can kind of get it out there on a little bit of an ante and it'll fight out of it. But I really like these discs. My T-Birds, I like for just straight woods style shots whenever I need to hit a tunnel, hit a gap, and know exactly what it's going to do afterwards. That's what I throw. And range-wise, I'm probably putting these out about 375 pretty comfortably. If I connect with it right, I get them out to about 400 feet. Consistent flights, love the lines on them. Anybody that knows me knows that I love low champion Banshees. Little backstory to that, we're out here at McClure Park. We're sitting on the practice green. Right over here is hole 17. It was probably 2005, the first mini that I ever played. I was playing in the rec division, and I came out here with my 3 frisbees, and I shot well enough to get a little bit of merchandise credit, and the guy that ran the mini had a house just right over here, probably 200 feet from 17's basket, and his garage was stacked full of frisbees. I went to him and said, I need something that will fight the wind, and he gave me an Oklahoma Open stamp 2004 Champ Glow Banshee, and I bagged that disc for probably 10 years. And it's just nearly indestructible style, that old glow plastic that everybody loves, and it was still overstable 10 years later whenever I lost it. So I always keep one of these in the bag. Nice spinable flight. I can forehand them, I can backhand them. Probably one of the most comfortable discs that I like to throw. Great frisbee. Flat top Firebird. Being sponsored by Hyzerbomb, I have to keep everything in the Innova family. It's going to be Discmania, Millennium, Innova, or Hyzerbomb. But most Innova players are going to bag a flat top Firebird. It doesn't get used a lot, but if I need something really overstable that's just out of range for my Moab, then I can go to this. Okay, so we'll get into my distance drivers. I feel like I forgot one. I did. Okay, so this is a tweener disc that I use. It's a Swirly S-Line PD. If it's a little bit windy and I'm not really feeling comfortable throwing my T-Bird, that's whenever I step it up to the PD. This particular run in PD is understable, controllable. I can flip it over. I can put it on a hyzer to hold a hyzer. Really good frisbee. Gives me a lot of birdies. Main drivers. So I like throwing bosses, but being in Oklahoma and with the wind, sometimes I can't go to it if it's a headwind or a crosswind. With the disc being as fast as it is, if you don't hit that angle perfect, it's going to kind of get away from you. But these are the bosses that I do like to throw. It's a really domey, super glidey run that they did like towards the end of Feldberg stamped era and stock stamped era. the bosses that they're making today are really overstable, and that's not what these are. These I can throw on a hyzer, get them pop up and carry a long ways, and they're super easy to throw. I can't get within 40 feet of my bosses whenever I'm throwing my destroyers. These are just a lot longer, a lot lighter. So we've got an understable one that's just a little bit more overstable, but again, I don't throw these whenever I'm facing a pretty stout headwind. Now this boss, on the other hand, is a Star Wiggins boss with the Like a Boss stamp. I think it was commemorating his world distance record. But this boss is Domi, and these things are really fast, really overstable. I was bagging a PD2 and this kind of kicked me out of the bag. If I'm throwing a shot like this to skip long ways, I throw this. I like forehand, it'll flare skip. Great frisbee. And then we'll get into my other drivers, which I can handle a little bit more of a wind with. And the first one's going to be a 1.8 run Scorpius. A lot of people, this disc is getting a lot of popularity. I've been throwing it for a few years. It reminds me a lot of the older run Domi destroyers, the ones that start off really overstable and then kind of beat their way into a frisbee. This disc gets used a lot with forehand shots, backhand hyzers, spike hyzers that I can't let get off the angle that I started on. This is a destroyer. It's a bottom stamp, older run destroyer. I found this at one of our local disc stores, and it had friends of mine's ink on it, and I know that he hadn't thrown it in a long time. It was in the lost and found bin. I looked at it, I knew exactly what it was, and I asked him, I told him that I saw it there, and his name's Edward Reed, Bobby Reed, and he was just like, hey man, if you throw it, you like it, keep it, and if not, you know, get it back to me. And I was like, dude, I don't think you understand, like, which one. This is that marbly Domi run, patent number destroyer. You know, it's kind of valuable, probably resell it, you know, if you wanted to. And he's like, no, dude, for sure, try it. So I did, I threw it, I loved it, and I think I gave him 2 or 3 destroyers to place of this. So shout out to Edward Reed for the homie hookup. This is one of the same style destroyers. It's 2-line Avery, patent number, super Domi. I've thrown this since it was brand new. Really overstable frisbee. One of the most overstable destroyers I've ever thrown. And it's just now getting into the point where it's beating in to where I can kind of pop it up a little bit from the angle that I put it on, but not much. Like this for forehand shots, where I need to get it to go left for a little bit and then to really dump out hard right. And backhand shots where it just can't go right at all. So there's a short. And then these are also fast and overstable discs. This is another one made by my sponsor. This is a Frontline Sabo. And the ones that I like, this one I've had in the bag for a couple years now. It's a swirly style plastic. I really like this for forehand shots, backhand chip shots. It's overstable. It's, I guess, most comparable to like a Max by Innova. Fantastic frisbee. It's, like I said, it's overstable. I don't throw it a lot backhand, but I do throw it on the forehand. This one's beat in quite a bit, so I can get it to hold straight for a while and then kind of dump right. Then I've got this one, which is a newer Sabo, to put in the bag just because this one's gotten a little bit more beat in. This one's dependably overstable. It's a newer one. And so that's pretty much it. Here's my bag. This is made by Hyzerbomb, and it's a good bag. Fits all the discs I need, and whenever I'm playing a course I'm not super familiar with, I'll use my Zuka card, but most of the time I like carrying this bag. So that's it. Thanks.